I had a little tiny delay. You got audio, GP? Yeah, there we go. So, folks, welcome to Stansted Live. Had a little bit of a technical glitch right at the beginning there. Unfortunately missed the aircraft coming in to stand. However, we are going to get it going out. Now, I'm here with Phil today. Phil's basically going to be running us through the aircraft where we've got nothing on board this aircraft, believe it or not. We do have one pallet to go on, and then it's headed out to Atlanta, I think it is. I'll have to confirm that. But we're going on board the aircraft. We're going to have a look around, and look at the inside of the aircraft, and you will get a really good sense of how big this aircraft is. Now, I know there's a lot of you guys out there who are real keen enthusiasts. You know your stuff, you know your stats, you know your information. But let's be aware that there are a lot of people out there who are watching right now, or maybe watching on replay, who don't have as much knowledge as a lot of people do. It's all there on Google for everybody to see, of course, but just be aware that we are going to be running through a lot of statistical stuff that obviously a lot of people don't know about. And that's all going to come from Phil. So we're going to be looking at the inside of the aircraft, get a really good idea of the size of it. Today's show is all about the nose loading of the aircraft. This is a front hinged nose system. Not all 747 freighters have that capability. That's predominantly the ones that are have come from passenger. So they come out of the factory basically with the hinged nose system. Of course, this is the Dash 8. The 747-8, as I need to put it correctly. So yeah, with the Gen X engines, we'll have a little look around that later. But also bear in mind that this is we're also going to get it going out as well. So we'll get it starting up, push back, taxi. We won't get it taken off, I can assure you, because I think they were possibly on Cat 3 when they came in just now, full auto land. I'm not 100% sure, but we will be asking one of the pilots who we met up with last time. The same crew that came in just now are going to be flying the aircraft out as well. So in a short moment, we will be going on board. So just bear with us, and we'll be back with you in a second. Enjoy this beautiful aircraft. Okay, folks, just bear with us. Phil, can I just give you this microphone? Ladies and gents, just let me introduce Phil. Phil, introduce yourself.
Hi there, I'm Phil. I'm one of the load masters for Cargo Logic here. Today we're just showing Jerry how the nose door opens.
Exactly, and we'll be looking inside the aircraft as well, and just and possibly meeting up with one of the pilots, because it's one of the fellas who was here.
Urban, who you filmed before, yeah.
Which we've seen before. Who we've seen before. Right. Okay, I'll leave that with you.
Okie dokie.
Just be aware. Don't, whatever you do, don't touch that button. Otherwise, you'll be. Okay. Okay, this is a little bit of a delicate operation, this.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay. You ready? You ready? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Are you snagged?
Yeah. This is crazy, man.
You got a different connection somewhere.
I reckon it's this. Okay. I think I know what I may need to do. The folks, just 1 second. Coming on. Right, when you say it's back,
might send someone else out to get rid of it, Phil.
Okay, mate.
Just because we've got to turn it down at the same time, so. Yeah,
Big camera.
Get it down your pants. Are you going to interview anyone?
Pardon?
You going to interview anyone?
I'm just carrying it around.
Right.
It's candy floss.
Okay, Phil.
This could be a... Still good? Still good? Which side's that coming out of this side?
Maybe long. Let's go the other way. That's it. And then you've got more cable.
Okay, just bear with us, folks. So Phil, we don't have a... Are you still good, Jilly?
Do you want me to carry this up?
No.
You're going to leave that down?
That's fine.
Okay.
We can leave that there. Okay, Phil, we're here.
Eventually.
Finally. Okay, if you want to put that up to your...
Yeah.
Okay, so, we still got everybody here, Jilly? Okay, let's just have a little look at this beautiful aircraft before we go on board. How far out can we walk here, Phil?
Oh, you're good. Anywhere within the aircraft footprint, you're...
Okay, anywhere within the aircraft footprint, that's a pretty long way. It's got such
Yeah,
a big, beautiful wing.
Gives you plenty of space to float. Yeah, different from the 400 because it doesn't have the wing yet.
Yeah. All new wing, isn't it? That would be a completely
Yes.
developed wing to bolt those Gen X motors onto.
Designed to flex an awful lot in flight. It's quite impressive.
Obviously only see just a pure thoroughbred freighter aircraft. She's only got the reduced length upper deck just for crew, really, isn't it? Crew and rest.
That's it. So we can get four crew on the flight deck and 4 couriers in the courier area at the back. We also have 2 bunks behind the courier area, but we can only carry a maximum of 8 people on board at any one time, purely down to the requirements for emergency access if in event of an emergency.
I see. Okay. Right, let's go on board.
We were going to have a completely empty aeroplane, but now we've got 1 pallet on.
Sorry. You're not playing the telly again.
Oh, you just in time for the telly, Peter.
No, I'm running. I'm doing a runner.
All good.
Fine, thank you very much.
Cool, thank you.
Wow. Okay, so now this is a lot different than when we've been on it previously. Wow, look at that. So give us some statistics here, Phil. What are we looking at in terms of overall carrying capacity?
On board the Dash 8 we can carry about 135 to 136 tonnes of payload, depending obviously on the distance we're flying. If we need more fuel, we obviously have to reduce the amount of payload we can carry, but 135 tonnes is our average for a Dash 8.
135 tonnes, that's quite considerable. And what sort of, if you were carrying that sort of weight in terms of the freight, what sort of fuel would we be carrying on board?
We burn about 10 tonnes an hour on the Dash 8, slightly less than the 400, so 10-hour flight, we're looking at 100 tonnes of fuel.
So just a more fuel-efficient engine?
Yes, yeah, they're much.
So that's overall savings over a year, so it's a considerable amount of money.
I think Boeing stated it was about 18 to 20% more fuel efficient or a better running cost. Obviously costs more to own.
Yes, of course. So this is the side loading door. Side loading cargo door. So what sort of pieces would be coming in through the side there, Phil?
Anything up to 3 metres high and 246 wide. I can't remember the actual dimensions without looking at my charts.
Of course,
it's slightly smaller than the 777 freighter door. Width-wise, height-wise, it's about the same. But we have the option of opening the nose.
Of course, and of course you've got a considerable amount of height here.
Yep.
Because obviously, not being a passenger aircraft, all you've got above there is just electronics and piping and plumbing and
fire detection systems. Yeah, all of these little boxes are on the top of sensors to make sure there's no heat sources on board during flight that could be a potential fire.
Okay, so run us through what's on the floor here, the mechanics of actually moving a pallet.
Okay, these are power drive units, PDUs we call them. In the door area we've got 8 steerable PDUs, so I can turn these in any direction to allow me to load a 20-foot pallet or a 10-foot pallet. The PDUs behind you, just a little bit smaller, they just run lengthways along the aircraft and drive pallets into position.
And these are the smaller ones here, are they?
These right behind you, these tiny wheels here.
Okay, yep. So just tell me what those are again?
They're just small PDUs, power drive units. So if Dominic comes down, we can actually turn on the system, and I can show you some of the wheels turning.
That would be fantastic.
Dom,
yes. Yeah.
Give us a hand to turn on.
So you have, I noticed you have control panels all the way down.
Yep. Each zone or each loading position has its own control local drives, and we have the master control panel, one at the side cargo door. We have got a similar panel at the front near the nose cargo door.
So there is an art to loading an aircraft, I'm guessing.
Absolutely, we can control virtually everything that happens on the aircraft from this panel here.
Okay, so that's your main panel, is it?
This is the main side cargo door panel, yep. It takes a couple of minutes to come back to life. Eventually. There we go.
So that we're looking at, those lights, is that the layout of the layout that we're looking at here?
These lights here are indicators for the wheels that we're looking at in the doorway. So this is the PDU in 19L1, this is the PDU in 19L2, which are the two that you're just looking at. Yep.
There, yeah.
And then on the ones on the opposite side, and 19R1 and R2. So if you want to look at the PDUs, as I pull the lever, all of those wheels turn.
Okay, do that one more time.
So basically, when we bring a pallet in through the door, we drive using this lever to drive the pallet in.
So that will turn, it'll drive the pallet in.
So it'll drive
and
the pallet,
turn it, or just drive it?
It just drives it in straight.
Yes.
Then we select one of the other switches. If we're loading a pallet in, say, position D1, where we've got one today, you hit the load switch. Now that arms all the drive, all the small PDUs on that side of the aircraft. Dom, can you just hit load over there? I then put this lever into the forward position, and then that allows another person to call. Basically, they're calling the pallet to the position they are in.
Okay.
So now all the wheels from this point to that point will drive the pallet to that position.
I see. Okay, I'm with you. Right, so it is a two-man operation minimum.
Yeah. You can do it with one person, but it involves a lot of running around.
Yeah.
We've also got on this these positions the ability to turn a 20-foot pallet in and out of the door. Now that, because it's wider and longer than the width of the aircraft, we have to turn it. So all the PDUs have to turn. So I'd have to select the 20-foot.
So are you able to call that pallet from there down to here? Would you potentially be able to?
Yes, yeah, I would have to select unload. Oh, I've just turned it off. Select unload, go to that position, and then there's a switch like this. And if I hit unload in that position, the lights will come on, and then as soon as I pull this lever back, that pallet will drive down.
Impressive. So I'm guessing a lot of people are asking right now, where's the aircraft going to today?
Today it's off to Frankfurt. It's going to be filled up with freight in Frankfurt. Then it's on to Atlanta, Mexico, and then finally back to Houston.
Okay.
Where it'll be picking up stuff that we would be loading through the nose door normally.
I see. So I missed out the bit about the Frankfurt bit.
Yeah.
Because I said it is going all the way to Atlanta with one pallet, but
no, it's going to Frankfurt.
So she's going to have a full load when she goes to Atlanta.
It will be.
And that will be farmer, would it, or is that?
Farmer, a lot of machinery coming out of Germany, and then when it gets to Houston, coming back, it will be a lot of oil industry stuff, which is why we use the nose door a lot.
Yes. Because
it's all long, 20-foot, 40-foot pieces, pipelines and stuff.
Okay, and we're going to be doing something with that at some point in the future. Can we just have a look and see what's going on this screen here?
This is the cargo status screen. It tells us what. These indicate all of the wheels. These two big dots here are the large wheels that you saw that turned.
Yes.
All of the little ones are the small PDUs, and they're green today, which shows they're all active. I do have the ability on here to isolate and retract some of these PDUs. So PDU. So that's now retracted that PDU.
I see.
I can do the same with one of the ones in. So that PDU, which is the one over there,
Yes.
is now retracted and wouldn't work if we used it. I would have to manually recover it. It just gives me the ability to pull a PDU out of the way if I need to.
Yes, I see. I see. So, shall we make our way to the nose and check out the operation?
We can show you how the nose door opens. Now, having the nose door gives the 7.4 the ability to load anything up to an almost. Well, we've loaded wind turbines before that have been over 150 feet long.
Okay, well let's just let's get some information off you. So let's just take a good look at the. Now, is this all basically the nose operation?
This is the nose loading panel. This is the door opening panel, and these green lights indicate the latches.
Yes, the pins.
Which are. You'll see better when we open the door. But basically, there's 16 latches that have a pin that drives through them that secure the door in flight.
I see.
So,
okay, so that's your indicator panel, just to show you that they're all fully locked and in position.
That's it. And the door is actually opened using this tiny little motor at the front here,
which is crazy.
And two screw jacks on a mechanical opening system. So the motor drives the screw jack, which drives the screw which opens the door.
And the nose is actually extremely lightweight, isn't it?
It's not. I'm not sure of the actual weight, but it's not particularly heavy.
Is it not? Okay.
It does change the CG of the aircraft when we open the door. You'll see at the moment this is the actual weight of the aircraft. So it's 221 tons at the moment, and we're sitting at 24.7% MAC, which is the mean aerodynamic chord. It's basically the index of the aeroplane at the moment.
I see.
When we open the door, that will change. So not by much, only by about 0.2, 0.3%.
I see. Okay. And that's because it's changing its geometry.
Yes, it's changing the dynamics of the aircraft. Now, this is a two-handed operation, so I'm going to have to give you that.
So I will grab hold of that. Right, okay, just stand by. So what am I looking for when this actually opens up? Probably a good idea to watch the screw, isn't it? I'd imagine.
Initially, when we turn it on, all of these latches will disengage, so you'll hear the noise. All of these lights will turn from green to orange.
Okay.
Then there'll be a pause, and then you'll hear that motor engage, and then the
and those screws will start to activate. Yes. And you'll see the push rod as well.
You'll see these spinning as they.
Yeah. Okay, so what we're looking for is for that panel of lights to turn from green to
orange.
Okay, let's go for it.
So it's a two-handed, you have to. You can hear all the little pins coming out from the rings, the securing rings, and that's them all out. And then the motor should engage any second. Come on, there we go, it's just starting.
Perfect. So
they're all lights are orange. We've changed the index by 0.3.
I see. Yeah.
And we're now clear to load whatever we like through the nose.
So run us through the general procedure for when you originally receive an inquiry from the client. What's the procedures that you go through?
Depending on the cargo, we've got to try and work out where we can fit it on the aircraft, what height it is, whether it's going to be restricted to Q6 height, and whether it's going to be too long to load through the side door, and we're going to have to try and load it through the nose cargo door. As I showed you, we can put 40, 50 foot pieces on, and then we've got to work out the best place to put it on the aircraft for the weight and balance trim, and plan the positioning.
So when you say plan the positioning, there are drawings that are done, or what's the general procedure? Is there an automated system that you can?
Yeah, we've got our weight and balance system, which gives us a graphical indication of the actual CG of the aircraft. We've also got all the CAD type drawings that we can use to give us a physical dimensions of the pieces, so we can plan them to make sure they'll physically fit on the aircraft. And we also use the old pen and paper and draw things out. And a lot of the time we use those drawings for working out tie-down schemes, because they're long pieces. If they're outside the parameters of the cargo net, have to be secured on the aircraft. So we physically have to strap them to the aircraft.
I see. So, so in terms of actually manoeuvring the pieces, is that something that you you have to that you obviously will need to do?
Again, we
physically on the aircraft, and
we have the ability. All the PDUs in the nose are similar to the ones by the back door. These are turnable, so I can change if I've got a piece that's coming in through the nose door. I can actually, with varying positions on the aircraft, I can turn those wheels. So if I've got a long piece that's coming through the door, I can then straighten it up to enable us to get it into the aircraft and against the side rails, which are either on the left or the right hand side.
So it might be multiple movements?
Oh, a lot of the time, yeah. If you're talking about a really long piece, if it's got a 3-4 metre overhang, by the time the corner of the pallet hits these rails, the overhang's going to be digging into the wall. So we have to have the ability to swing the pallet around and get the overhangs where we need them to be.
And that's the beauty of being able to use these?
Yes, yeah. The Telair system has given us now the ability to smooth things quite precisely within the aeroplane.
And is this a relatively modern system, or has this particular system been in use for some time?
The Dash 8s that have had this system on have only been around for about 5 years, I believe. I'm not absolutely certain.
So how did they manoeuvre a long piece in the past? Just manhandle it?
You could retract pellet PDUs. You had various systems. They weren't as sophisticated as this. There were ways of doing it, but yeah, there was a lot of manhandling involved.
Yes, of course. Okay, well, I think that's very well explained. And you say you have exceptionally long pieces that you can fit in here as well?
Anything up to 50, 60, 70 feet. It says if it's physically within the weight limits that we can carry, and we would not really be looking at carrying anything over 30 tons in a single piece. They would require a lot of calculations to work out the spreading.
Yeah. We were discussing earlier on that you could literally load one side of the aircraft with, say, around about 90 tons. Was that right?
The lateral,
and the other side is empty.
The lateral imbalance limits on the 7.4 are about 90 tons.
Wow. That's very impressive.
Which when you're doing multi-drops is really useful. So we used to run out of South Africa, and we would pick up fish in South Africa and fruit and vegetables in Nairobi, and you'd be dropping the fish in Spain, and the fruit and veg would be coming to the UK. So you don't want to have to be able to move all the pallets around.
Yes.
You can drop one side of the pallet aircraft quickly.
Yes.
It reduces your ground.
You've got a lot more manoeuvrability on the empty side.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so should we have a little walk outside? When's the aircraft? How long are we looking at the turnaround on it?
We've got another 30 minutes or so.
Another 30 minutes.
Yep.
Should we have a little walk round the outside? Yep. Show the viewers the. Because I don't think anybody's ever going to grow tired of a 747.
Well, so our water servicing's arrived.
Okay, there we go. The honey truck, is it?
Yes, that one is.
So now, here she is in all her glory. Let's just see if we can. So these are General Electric GE9X with a carbon blade, I believe. It's interesting to see. I don't know if you guys back there can see how small the actual core is. It's quite interesting, isn't it? The core is quite small, and you can see why they call it a high bypass turbofan, because look at the in fact it's probably more noticeable from behind, I would have said. Beautifully engineered and sculpted. Look at those exhausts, scallops. It's quite thick, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thick piece of that's really thick. And that's carbon.
It's all carbon.
That is carbon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not steel.
It's not alloy, is it?
No, not alloy.
Wow, look at that. Of course.
I have seen one of those dog teeth actually blown off after a lightning strike.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So I'd imagine that these cows, they're alley, are they?
I think they're alley from this point
to that
here.
point there, and that's carbon back to there. So that's very interesting. Thrust reverser actuator access. Loving that.
These panels are all removable. They can they pump them apart like a clamshell when they're working on the aircraft.
Of course, they slide back as well.
Yeah.
Wow, that's the actuator access. You can just about see it behind there that we're so used to seeing when the engine cowls slide back on reverse. It's just a work of art, Phil, isn't it? You know,
they're a beautiful piece of engineering, and it's probably still quite warm. No, not too bad. It's cooled. It's cooled down.
It's cooled down, is it? So many different mixtures of materials in there as well. You can see so many multiple, obviously. Titanium and all different classic alloys.
And you've still got a bit of ice on the bottom of the wing where the fuel is cold soaked into the.
Look at that. Of course, everybody loves to look at engines. And what is so impressive as well is just this undercarriage unit. Highly impressive. I don't know if the folks at home are getting a really good idea of just the scale that we're here, that we're underneath here.
The size of one of these against a wheel.
It does go to show. You all right?
I have no idea. I think he wants the door closed.
Oh, the nose.
Yeah, they just need it closed so that we can make sure everything's.
Should we go and do that? Should we watch them? Are they doing it now? Oh, I've done it. Okay.
He's done it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to make sure everything's secure. On the cockpit, there's an indicator that tells them whether the nose cargo door is open or closed.
I see.
So when they're running through their checks, they need to make sure that all the doors and hatches are closed. And we can't do that with the door wide open.
Yes. So the conditions have cleared up quite considerably.
Yeah.
Let's just get a nice, for all our tech heads out there, let's get a nice, good close-up look at this bogey wheel assembly. Of course, on the A340, just one of these in the middle, and two of these on the 747.
And these ones are actually steerable as well.
Yes.
Body gear steering.
Which, interestingly enough, the A380 doesn't have.
It's quite interesting when it fails.
Oh, really?
I've been on board when we had a body gear steering.
So I guess it scrubs, does it? It just sort of like, because you're all on the front end then, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's just literally pulling it across the...
It just wanted to veer off of on the taxiway.
Wow.
It was fine when they were on the rollout, but it was when we were taxiing and slowed down that it became apparent, I think.
As soon as you start to turn?
Yeah.
How often do they, a lot of people ask, I mean, you can see that that's a relatively new tyre compared to this one here.
You can say how often
The
do we
cycle,
change them?
it
Depends on so many
I guess
factors.
it's a visual thing as well, isn't it? And,
Yeah.
And of course they've got the they've got indicators on the flight deck as well of pressures. And
They've got indicators of the pressures, yeah, and then the engineers will be looking at the wear grooves on board.
Yes.
To see how much life's
see
left
any
in the tyre.
chips or any.
Yeah, you can see that sort of
That's a
rough
flat spot, isn't it?
That's probably
That's
where it
from
touched.
touchdown.
That's probably from touchdown, yeah.
Oh yeah. That's crazy. That's the first time I've actually ever seen that. a very slight, not even a flat spot really, is it?
It's just it's a puckering of the rubber, isn't it?
Yes.
No, the length of time between rotations depends on what we've carried, where we've taken it to.
Yes.
Different runways have different abrasion rates.
Yes. Yes.
So you couldn't come up with a figure.
No,
and say,
no, it's not like every 6 months or anything
No,
like that.
no.
Tyres could go for a year.
Yeah, if you notice, the engineers first thing they do is walk around. They do a tyre check.
Yes.
The crew, when they do their walk around, they'll do another tyre check.
Yes. Okay. It's just so impressive in terms of scale. So impressive in terms of scale. See why stowaways get up there?
They don't like it when they get above 10,000 feet, though.
No. They get quite cold. Actually frozen to death, I would say.
And
Although some have made it, haven't they?
I don't know how they've made it.
I know.
No, obviously anything over 15,000 feet, and you're going to you're going to asphyxiate because you've got a lack of oxygen.
Yeah. There was one that fell out. Literally, the body fell out over just as the gear came down over Richmond in London a couple of years back. Landed on the roof of. Crazy. Poor guy. Obviously desperate.
That's it. You don't know the desperation that some people have.
No.
With the contrails coming off that post.
Wow. Yeah. That's pretty impressive. Now, here's one thing that I keep telling people: these deflectors that when the aircraft takes off, you see the vortex, ribbon vortex going out over the top of the wing, and I'm guessing that is to reduce the amount of turbulence over the slat.
Over the lee, yeah, I would assume so.
Possibly.
I'm not an aircraft engineer.
Yeah, it's just one that I haven't got the final answer on just yet. I'm sure we will at some point in time. Good to see the old girl windmilling there.
The wind's picked up because the fog's lifted.
Yes. Good thing. Good thing. We got a question. Yeah, that is a good question. Why do they mostly fly freight at night? Is that a cost issue, I'd imagine, isn't it?
Not in our business model. It doesn't. I mean, the likes of UPS and FedEx flying at night because they're delivering parcels at the end of a working day.
Yes.
We don't. I mean, we're daylight flying today.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't specifically fly at night because.
Yes.
We end up with night flights occasionally
Yes.
because of the restrictions at destination airports.
Yes.
We have a lot of airports that have got curfews, so we have to be in before the curfew, so our departure time might be and the night time at the previous station. It all depends where we're going.
Yeah. So, like you say, it all depends on destination and limitations at the next airport.
This route particularly, we have issues with. We have a curfew in Stansted, we have a curfew in Frankfurt. There are severe restrictions on landing times in Mexico because of how busy Mexico airport is, and then hopping from Mexico to Houston, we have restrictions and issues with the availability of the CBP, the Customs and Excise people. So, yeah, our schedules are often dictated to by the opening and closing times of the destination airports.
But we were discussing earlier on about the where was it that they had the incredible amount of freight in the US that we were talking about earlier?
Oh, in Louisville.
Louisville, Kentucky. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
For one of the parcel integrators.
Yes.
Yeah,
how many was it? Quarter of a million packages a night or something?
It's over 150 aircraft movements a night. 2 or 3 million packages are packaged and resorted, and we're going over to assist with their pre-Christmas rush next week.
Yeah. So that's a great another good prop for Cargologic Air stepping in with FedEx. UPS, is it?
It's UPS. Yeah. We're operating between Louisville and Cologne, so we're covering the European leg for them. Well, an additional aircraft covering the European leg. They have their own that cover a lot of it, but they have to import an awful lot of carriers in the 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas, just because of the massive increase in volume of packages that they have to move.
Yes. Fantastic. Well, I won't show it, but that's a lovely old girl over there, isn't it?
I think that is running for UPS.
Is it running for UPS?
Yeah, that's...
Wow. So there's your belly loading door.
Yeah, forward lower deck.
So what would you normally be loading in there? Just normal palletized stuff, or
anything up to 1.6 meters high, and the normal size parameters of a 10-foot by 8-foot pallet. We can have what we call winged pallets, so the pallet is loaded lengthways across the belly, as opposed to lengthways down the fuselage as we do on the main deck, and you can have a wing that follows the contour of the aircraft, so it's like a big upside down V.
Wow.
So that's predominantly used when you're carrying fruit and veg out of Africa.
Yes.
A lot of the pallets will be winged just to maximise volume.
And an easier onload offload scenario with the lower.
Oh yes, yeah. You can. It's all controlled from one point by one guy. It's not you don't need multiple people up there.
Yes. So she's off to Frankfurt then?
Yes. Plenty of German heavy engineering, and as you say, a lot of pharmaceuticals.
Big old pitot heads, aren't they? And that's your angle of attack sensor there, I'd imagine.
Yep, you've got 2 there.
How are we doing for time, Phil?
We've got about
any fuel on board, have they?
Yeah, fuel was here when we first started walking around.
Okay.
They're only putting 22 tons on, so it wasn't a big.
And then she'll be fully fueled over in Frankfurt.
Yeah, they'll probably put, I would guess, around 80 tons on in Frankfurt, 80 to 90 tons.
Should we have a little walk up and see if the crew are? We won't say anything. Just see if are they happy for us to stick the camera in there, maybe.
I can go and ask before we go up.
Yes. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
And I'll wait down here for you.
Oh, come on, onto the main.
Okay. Okay. Give you guys a little look at the flight deck, because I know you guys like to see flight decks. Anything you can see, really. Just hang here for a sec. Sorry about that.
You alright?
Yeah, good, yeah. Good.
See how the wing tip is bowed quite down. I'd imagine that's fuel load, and that's the flex that you see when she rotates. See, it's actually quite a bowed wing from the inboard engine outward.
They're happy.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Crew rest compartment.
Courier area.
Hey, how are you, mate? This is the crew rest compartment.
So we've got six courier seats or rest seats, and we've got 2 bunks behind those. And in the back here.
We've seen in here before.
I think you have, yeah.
Wow, yeah. It's quite comfy, isn't it? if you call that comfy.
It's not the smooth, softest mattress in the world, is it?
No. But it's better than nothing, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
Right, let's just bring that over here. Way, there we go.
Well, then
There's no door here, right? Afternoon, gents. How are we doing?
Very well, mate.
Hey!
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing, sir?
Hi,
Good to see you again. Did you see yourself on the other on the film before?
Yeah, cool.
That's cool, man. It was very short, but oh, we just did a little piece with at night time, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was well, that was a year ago, I guess. Yeah.
So a short hop to Frankfurt.
Yeah. Already been to Moscow. Come from Moscow. And yeah, when we get to Frankfurt, we finish.
You finish, and then another crew up for Atlanta, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. It won't be us. We've done our job for the day.
Yeah.
But you can never get tired of flying a beautiful aircraft like this, can you, surely?
Not tired of, just tired in
Yes.
sometimes.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah. No, it's great. It's wonderful. It's a very good job to have. Flying the jumbo.
Where have you always flown the 747, or have you come off of?
Since 2002, I've flown the 747. But before that, I flew a few aeroplanes. There was Fokker 100, Fokker 50, and a Saab 340.
Wow, what a step up!
It was.
Yeah, and obviously, in 2002 would have been the 400.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. So stepping up from the 400 to the 8, the Dash 8, how do you find the flight characteristics of it compared to the 400? A lot different, or power, I'd imagine, more so?
Yeah, we certainly a lot quieter when we were taking off. That was the first thing we noticed. I found it a little bit more positive in roll in this aircraft, in the Dash 8. 400 tends to be a little bit more slow to respond, and a little bit more in pitch as well here. So it tends to respond better than the 400. The 400 is obviously a great airplane as well.
Yeah.
Certainly noticed the difference. Crosswinds tend to be a little bit more tricky with this one because of the wing.
Is that due to the size of the wing? Literally the size?
Well, to do with the aerodynamics of the wing, yeah. You can feel it picking up if you've got a crosswind. You can literally sort of start feeling it leaning to one side as you're going down the runway. So you have to counteract it.
Wow, and that's I mean, because it's an extensively long wing, isn't it, compared to the 400 with the raked tip as well? Because that's about another 4 or 5 meters added on to the end of the wing tip.
That's it, yeah. And a 10 knot wind from the right or the left, you notice it, more than the 400. That's for sure.
Still a challenge though. You must love crosswind landing, surely.
Yeah, they're great.
I'll show you one of ours in a bit that we've caught Iceland Air recently at Heathrow.
Yeah, I like them as a bit of a challenge, yeah. But it's certainly with this one, it's more of a challenge than the 400. I found.
Yeah.
Keeping the wings level in this is tricky.
And you, sir?
Yeah, for me I was flying 737 before, but then I had like experience in the caravan. I was flying like a bush pilot.
Wow.
It was quite interesting, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So why did you come over to Cargo Logic Air then?
Oh, well, before I was flying in Edo Air in Taiwan. I was based there, but then I just wanted to go back home, and that's why I realized that I feel much better in terms of quality of life, and especially for the family. Family is much more happy.
Yes, of course. So last time we saw you, you were quite early on in your flying of the 747-8, was it? Or
well, no, actually, it was for the Dash 8, yeah.
Yes.
I flew the Dash 8 only in this company. Before I was just flying 747-400s.
yes.
Yeah, but it was one of the first flights. But it was I think more than a year ago, something like that. Yeah.
But enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's perfect. It's nice.
Okay then, gents. Well, we'll let you get on. Have a safe flight.
Thank you.
And enjoy your Christmas.
Thank you.
Happy Christmas. See you later.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye. There we go.
Thank you. I've just got to chase some documents.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
No worries.
Cheers. Right, here we go. Big steep steps. Oh, too late. Yeah. There we go. Apparently we've got to chase some paperwork, I believe.
Yeah, cargo documents.
Here they come. Here they come. Okay. How's that, Jilly? People loving that? All I can say is thank God for the... Now this is our man, this is the guy that saw it off last time, isn't it? This fella here, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, that's what I want.
He's responsible for the tug and the hooking up. He's going to just hook up. Let's just follow him over now. What's that? The ultimate boys toy. Okay, let's just see where he hooks up to the comms lead going in to the pilots. Oh, there's his little. See, this is what you don't see. He's now talking to the crew. He's got a headset like mine. And then here come the. Boys from Swissport doing a fantastic job. Good. Nicely in place. And now the tug. That's the ground power unit coming off. CPU's off. Door being shut up top. Door is shut. Well, we're going to get some action. Here comes the tug. tons these things weigh. I think they weigh in at around about 50 tons, don't they, Phil? Those big old lummoxes.
Yeah, I think they are about 50 tons. I don't know if Damon knows. Damon, do you know how much that tug weighs?
20 tons.
Oh, is it 20
only a
tons,
20.
is it? Oh, okay.
They're up there then.
I'm always exaggerating. I told you a million times to stop doing that.
He'll know. He'll know.
Big diesel.
It's a big old lump, isn't it? Oh, Trevor should be watching now. Is he? Is he not there? That's a shame. we got a tug operator from Heathrow who's a regular viewer.
40.
What's that? 40 tons.
40 tons.
I was only 10 off. Okay. So steps are the next things to be moved. Ground power unit being moved out of the way.
Cones will come off.
Yeah. Chocks.
Chocks last thing.
Yeah. Very clean environment, that cockpit, I have to say. Very nice, isn't it?
Yeah, they are. They're lovely. The Dash 8s are it's a beautiful aeroplane.
Yeah, see the ribbons off of that?
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Smart, that.
There's enough moisture in the air.
Might actually, if we get out there far enough, when she goes out, she might actually have some off the wingtips.
Yeah, we can go the other side there.
Yeah. But if it's all right with you, Phil, like we did last time, we'll just track out with it, with the alongside the, and then just sort of like walk over to the edge of that grass over there, and then
no problem.
the grassy knoll. I think we've got some good stuff there on board. Informative.
They're obviously watching it in the office.
Who's that taking the photograph? Was that Paul? Did Paul take that picture?
Must have been, yeah, must have been Dominic.
Oh, Dominic, sorry.
Yeah.
Paul. I just make names up as I go along. Surprised I didn't call him Dave, really. That's Dominic there.
We've got enough Daves in the office. It's always good when you move the steps and the water runs off the top step down the back of your neck.
That's a good design, isn't it? You kind of would have thought, like, maybe I'll put a hood on before I do this. Okay, so quite soon we will hear the ice packs start up, I'd imagine.
Beacons will go on first, yeah.
Okay.
Then you'll hear, they'll ask Roger if it's clear to pressurise, and then you'll hear that whistle.
Yes. professional bunch of fellas, the guys at Swissport, aren't they?
They're very good. This is an extremely good team we've had on today. Just unfortunately we didn't have any work for them to do.
Yeah. So he's just doing a final check around, I'm guessing.
Yeah, just to make sure that there's nothing that no vehicles have hit the aircraft during the turnaround that everybody else has missed. I mean, the engineer will do a walk around, the crew will have done a walk around. The pushback team always do their own walk around. It's just company policy for them to do so. The more eyes, the better.
Yes, of course. Chop in there, isn't it?
Yeah, once they get the clearance to release the brakes, because they release the brakes during the turn, the aircraft sinks back onto the rear chop.
Back on them, yeah.
So they'll have to pull it forward, yeah. It's quite a camber on the.
I was just going to say, it's quite a hill, isn't it? It's literally a hill. So that would have fallen way back on its chocks.
Oh, they're completely jammed. You can't, without the tug pulling it forward, you can't get them out.
So this is this is quiet before the storm, isn't it? Before it all fires up. Those Gen X motors kick into life once again.
They don't generally start them until they're out on the taxiway.
Yeah. I think that's standard procedure, isn't it? You don't start them on the push back, do you? But I have seen some do it.
Some smaller aircraft do.
Yeah.
If you imagine the engines are turning over, developing thrust, the tug's going to really struggle to push it against thrust.
Most definitely, yeah.
We also don't want the engines running with the jet blast directed at passengers loading into flights behind the aircraft. So we normally get the crew, well, the crew will always start it after it's lined up on the taxiway and the thrust is away from any danger zones. As you can see, EasyJet are walking behind us at the moment.
Yes. So they would get a significant blast.
Yep. Beacons come on.
Beacons on. What's that, GP? Just repeat. People are always saying that, man. You ain't seen nothing yet. This thing fires up. I tell you, it's a sight to behold. Learned something new today, though, about those cowl. The rear cowls being carbon.
The composite, yeah.
Yeah, the composite material. It's really thick as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've just got to say a big thanks to you, Phil.
Oh, no problem at all.
You're a legend. Thanks, mate. Dave and all the other boys back at the office working their little socks off.
Colin in his Christmas socks.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw them, mate. I saw them. So here we go. Pull forward. In a minute.
Yeah, Darren gave me the thumbs up. He's got approval from the tower, so we should get the brakes off any second.
So this guy will give the approval, won't he? Here we go. So that's the pull back now. take the. So that's the chocks out. So I can do both of them, the old boy. And we're good. Our man will give us the. Here we go. Standard procedures, the outboard number 1, is it, that normally fires up first, or?
1 and 2, 3 and 4.
Okay.
They fire them up two at a time. When they first got the Gen X's, they had to start them individually, and it took forever for the engine starts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it started spooling up, 1 and 2 on the other side. That's as far as we can go.
Yeah. Starboard engines have fired.
A little longer to start because they dry run the motors. If they've been on the ground for, I think it's less than 2 hours, because of the way the fan blades cool, they have to dry run them before they fire them up to get the fan blades at the same temperature all the way across, otherwise they vibrate. I think they were having issues with engine vibration on startup when they initially came into service. But don't quote me on it because I'm not an engineer.
Yeah, no, but that is very interesting. But we'll have to find that out later. So they're just literally idling them at the moment, not even idling them really.
They just dry run
they're
them.
idling over there, they're just dry running it. So here it is now, it's kicking in now, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll run it for 30 seconds or something. That gets all the fan blades at the same temperature, then they fire it up. just, yeah, they're firing up now.
Yeah.
You'd have to talk to John or one of our tech pilots to get the full details.
Yes. But I can understand that. I can understand that.
Yeah, short takeoff today.
Yeah, very short takeoff.
So if we go view out, or do you want to go from here?
I'll probably just run out on there, just a little bit.
Yeah, don't go too far.
No, I won't. No. She'll probably go up before that.
At or about where the green fire aircraft is, probably just after that, I reckon.
Yes.
When you're empty out of here, you're normally at 1,000 feet by the time you hit the Harrods building.
Yes, right. Okay, let's hold it steady. All manual. No sticks.
Definitely be working on a reduced thrust takeoff today.
Very derated, isn't it?
Oh, longer than I thought.
And there she goes. Phil, wow.
See her again on Saturday.
Yeah, she'll be back on Saturday. Wow.
Yeah, I've got that particular aeroplane in Louisville for the next 2 weeks.
Have you now? And of course, she's into Heathrow every now and then, as well as does she go into Heathrow?
We were operating for some of the ABC flights.
Yes.
And yes, she did come into Heathrow.
Yeah. We've
Not
seen her
often.
a few times. Yeah, yes, quite rare. More often than not, it's the ABC, like you say.
Yeah.
But always good to see that little red flash, and everyone on radar say dash 8, dash 8. Okay. Well, we are going to wrap that, folks. Thank you so much for. Let's just get over there and get the camera on the sticks and just say our goodbye, I think.
Do you want me to bring the box over to you over there?
You could do. Thanks, mate.
No worries. Smile. Smile.
Well, sort of a shady start, but we got there in the end. Bill?
There you go.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate it.
No problem.
Bit of a shady start, but we got there in the end. Shaky, I should say, not shady.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in, folks. That's what it's all about, being an elite member, bringing you that direct with Cargo Logic, and we'll obviously be putting something together for the guys at Cargo Logic Air as well, a post-production piece.
And we'll find you some interesting big freight next time.
Yes, we will. We're hearing that apparently there might be something going down to Mexico in January.
Potentially,
around
yeah.
about that
We
time.
have to just get clearance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's what this is all about, folks. Is we have to get clearance from the client. It's obviously very. I mean, engines are a big no-no.
Pretty much anything aerospace is very difficult.
Yeah, and understandably so, man.
Yeah.
Understandably so. So we will hopefully, we will definitely be back with you, because the next piece will hopefully be doing something on the main cargo deck, and then the belly, and then so on and so forth. So We will be back with Cargo Logic. A big thank you to them, and we will see you on Saturday, folks. Look after yourselves, and thanks for tuning in. Thanks again, Phil.
No problem.
Really appreciate it. Cheers.
See you soon.
Thanks.
Where are you filming from on Saturday?
That'll probably be Heathrow. We got to
see me as I disappear.
Oh, what time are you going out?
11:30, I think, on a Virgin out to
in the morning.
Atlanta, yeah.
Oh, outbound in the morning, eh?
I think it's.
We'll have to keep an eye on that. We might film it live, mate. Because we're, yeah, that could be a possibility. Okay, you ready for Cut GP?
I think you look like one.